up here tonight. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say about that.
Hey,
So welcome to
I wanna know
Tamara.
how
Really
she
quick, where
found
did you
us.
hear about us?
What was it?
Tamara, really quick, where'd you hear about us?
Curtis. I met him today.
Thanks for bringing us in, Curtis.
Yes.
I can't wait to get to the next floor. Hi, Blake.
Oh, can't hear
You're
you, Blake.
on mute.
Now I'm off mute. Can you hear me now?
There we go, Blake. Blake, have you been here before?
I have not. My name is actually Kent.
What is your name? I'm sorry.
Kent, K-E-N-T. And my children changed the name of the computer to Blake, and I did not know that before. So that's why I chose it.
Classic.
Where did you hear about us?
So I heard about y'all through a gentleman by the name of Brian, who works for Brothers Air Heating and Air. And we happened to stumble on conversation, and he started talking about what he does. My wife and I have actually been considering investing for quite some time. Had no idea where to begin, and so we read a few little books in there. And he said, join on to this group, and you can find some awesome people to help guide you and point you in the right direction. So here we are.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear your questions and the answers to them. So let's go to Dominic. Dominic, what are you up to? What's going on? What do you need to move your business forward in the next 7 days?
So two things. I'm currently working on 2 rehabs. I can use a few leads. That'd be nice to finish the project. And then I'm looking to get more of the multifamily side of the business. So I'm looking to learn a little more about that, and get away from some of the single family that I've been doing.
Awesome. Exciting.
Caitlin, can you come on that light over there for this light?
Mark Harris, what's going on? What are you up to, and what do you need to move your business forward in the next 7 days?
Good evening, everyone. In the next 7 days, I need to really find someone to take this house off our hands that we've been marketing for a while. Seniors can't get the numbers together with everybody, so I need to get that property together, and I possibly may have something else in the works as of tomorrow. So that might be something I need to get done within the next 7 days as well, because I think it's a hot lead. Did I lose everybody?
No.
Oh, okay.
Adina, you're on mute.
Sorry, my internet keeps going in and out for a second.
I'm sorry.
Jasmina, what about you? Why don't you check in?
Hi, everyone. Hi again. I did earlier, but I can do it again. Sure. Well, I'm on my way home from a long day after you guys saw early. I was at one of our flips, my partner and I, and actually he's on the call tonight. And so I've just been working a lot, trying to get the project that we're working on done for probably by the end of this month, hoping to have that house on the market the latest the first week of October. So that's what we're working on. Working on 2 flips. That one and one that we're trying to put under contract, and that will be a flip as well. And working on also rehabbing a rental property. So we have a lot going on.
Sounds great. Wendell. Hi, Wendell. Are you around somewhere you can talk, or are you shopping?
No, I'm walking again. Had to just get out of the vehicle and walk up the driveway. My children were being so loud. So.
Wendell, check in for us.
Sure, Wendell Long, Affordable Home Providers, Mint Hill Self-Storage. We got all my tax returns signed today, so that's what I got done. and getting all that ready and getting my refinancing done on 2 different commercial properties. And so that's what I'm doing and getting done in the next, hopefully 7 days, and get all that pretty well wrapped up and ready to finalize it and cut down some high interest loans and get down to take advantage of these low interest rates.
Heck yeah, that's the way to do it, buddy. Good you're here. Happy you're here. Hi, Patrice. Hey, Patrice, how you doing? Oh, we already checked you in. Sorry. I meant to say, who is the Galaxy S10 Plus? Your name's not popping up. And I wanted to say hi. Galaxy S10 Plus. Is there anybody that hasn't checked in? How about let's say that, and then why don't you talk? Maybe that'll get you that way.
I haven't checked in. This is Doug.
Hey, Doug. How are
Good
you?
to see your face too.
I am doing fine. For those that don't know, I'm Jasmine's business partner, and she's been texting me in the background like, "Talk, Doug, talk." I'm like, "I'll talk when it's my turn." But
Doug, and the floor is yours.
for to answer your question, probably a long way to get to that. Well, first of all, I'd like to get that information from was it Mark on the property he's trying to move. I'd love to at least get some information on it, so I can learn more about it and see if it fits what we're looking for. But in the next 7 days, what I want to do is I want to ideally find another property, but part of that involves getting more private money somewhere, getting an owner financing deal. I'm the acquisition guy on our team, and so my job is to find properties and get them under contract. And so I'm constantly wanting to push the envelope in terms of making sure that we've got enough forward projects coming. And so as soon as I get one done, I'm hungry and I'm ready to get the next one. But at the same time, we all know the finances obviously dictate some of that. And so I hate kind of sitting and twiddling my thumbs when I feel like I can be more active and moving more. So all in all, some kind of deals where I could potentially move quicker, whether it's money, whether it's through the actual deal, being able to get in on the deal with less money, that kind of stuff, so that I can keep, again, moving my aspect of the team forward.
Awesome. And let's touch on that. And maybe some people will have things that are great for you. Curtis Waters, why don't you check in?
All right. Hey, I'm Curtis Waters. I have a real estate business, about 40 rentals, and I'm also broker in charge with Real Estate Realty. Next 7 days, I am continuing to optimize my rental portfolio.
All right. I'll check in. My name is Adina. I am a broker with Real Estate Realty. I also do investor support for Curtis, Bonnie. I'm placing people in their rentals. In the next 7 days, what do I need to move my business forward? Well, I need HVAC contractors, and I need some properties because I want to start buying some properties. So wholesalers and people, can't wait to hear what you got. All right, Queen Bee, Bonnie Laszlo, do you want to check in?
Sure. My name is Bonnie Laszlo, also known as the Real Estate Hobby Millionaire. Welcome to the group. We created this space so that you guys could have a safe, wonderful place to connect as well as grow and do your business as fast as possible with some guidance from some seasoned investors. So it's really great to have newbies on the line as well as advanced real estate investors, and that's where the magic happens. But in the next 7 days, I currently have obviously renovations going on, closings going on, working, with a lot of marketing things. It was end of the month closeout, so now I get to work on all the lovely reports going into the lovely month of September. And also working on evictions. Those are fun. Fabulous. Some move-ins, obviously, that are going to be taking place. That's the beginning of the month. And what else do we have that's going on this particular 7 days? What is it? Oh, yeah, we're looking for another apartment complex as well, starting to dabble in that because we're down to our last 5 renovations. So we want to go ahead and get that lined up because obviously apartment complex acquisitions, especially if it's going to be 100 to 400 unit apartment complex, will actually take a little bit of time compared to 30 days with a house. So fun stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, Bonnie. Okay, so I also want to hear, we have a next format, we do wins, where we celebrate what has been great going on in real estate for you guys. So does anybody have any win? And you can also throw a win to somebody else.
I'm going to give a win to Mr. Wendell for getting that lower interest rate on $1 million loan. So that's going to save him some money and increase his cash flow. So win for getting that done and taking advantage of the COVID interest rates.
Win. Anybody else have any other wins?
Yeah, I'm going to give a win to Tamra. First time on the call. I stopped by and saw my buddy Tom McFall today in Gastonia, and he said, hey, you need to come talk to this woman. So I told her to show up to the call. I gave her a 50% chance of making it, and lo and behold, she shows. So a win to her.
I love it. That's awesome. Any other wins?
Win team member. They got their real estate license, and the real estate license number showed up today.
Who?
It's a secret. Can't really tell you on a group chat, but I think you have an idea.
Congratulations to the team member.
Exactly. And just so you know, guys, whenever you're working at banks and stuff like that, there can sometimes be a conflict of interest. So we share wins, but you know, if you're working at Bank of America or Wells Fargo or any other banks and stuff, we understand that these have to be kind of a little confidential kind of thing. So win to the team members who are also doing their W-2s and all that kind of stuff, but as a hobby, also doing this real estate thing versus, you know, hanging out at happy hours that aren't happening these days or playing video games or watching broke flicks, right? So
awesome.
Congrats teams for taking those time to do these online classes.
Great win. Any other wins?
I got a no on this. Go ahead.
I got a win. That's for my throw out to my business partner, Jasmine. She is just kicking butt. Between full-time job, little boy on the way, doing what we're doing as a business, and she just takes it all in stride. So definite, constant win to her.
Okay, win, Jasmina. I did not know that.
What's that?
I did not know that, Jasmina. A little boy on the way?
Yes. Look.
Sorry, Jazzy, I spoiled
Oh, congratulations. I didn't know you were running around.
Girl, I'm not going to lie. I was like, has she been eating a little more french fries lately?
Well, you know, this is let's blame this on the coronavirus, okay?
I know, right?
You look amazing, and congratulations.
Thank you guys.
Awesome.
And then Jasmina, by the way, look at she's out there, you know, expecting and still doing her real estate investing and out at job sites and everything. So,
Nothing's stopping me no more. Nothing's stopping me.
Okay, guys, any other wins really quick? Going once, twice.
I got one.
What is it?
We are caught up for this year. We're back at least caught up or above our rental income for all our storage facilities. That was a pretty good news. So,
that's awesome.
Year over year.
Yay, gotta like that. And I'm also going to give a win to Curtis Waters because we obviously sold and flipped the 20-unit apartment complex that was over in Gastonia. And so we're closing out all of those 30-day-year-old, you know, aftermath, right? After you sell something, you have to wait for all the bills to come in to start closing out. Yeah. So end of the month, we got to close out a lot more money. So Yay!
Yay! Yay to money! Yay to money! Okay. All right. Is that it for the wins?
I have one more win. I was kind of being tossed towards my wife for having so many referrals that she had one today that is possibly going to turn into a wholesale deal for me tomorrow once we go by and view the property.
Woo! Very good.
Congratulations on that. Mark's wife is a real estate agent, so they are a true dynamic duo. So that's awesome, Mark. Happy to hear it. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up the wins. I'm going to do 2 at once. We're going to do property pitches. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's do needs and wants. Does anybody need anything or want anything? You know, I need contractors all the time. So anybody else need anything?
I'm going to go ahead and put out a need because I know somebody on the call is looking for licensed HVAC installers. So if anybody has some licensed HVAC installers or someone that's doing HVAC for you, if you would please go ahead and post that onto the Facebook Hobby Millionaire page. And that way they can take it, you know, from there. But also we're going to talk about
Awesome, good. So post the licensed HVAC if you're looking for it or if you have it on the Hobby Millionaire page, please. Any other needs and wants?
Especially ones that come to Charlotte, because I know some of them don't, you know, if they're in Gastonia, they don't want to commute to Charlotte.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Normally I like to go to Charlotte because charlatans pay more.
They definitely do.
Dominic, post that you're looking for that on our Hobby Millionaire page.
So I have a person that I work with, and I'd be happy to share his information later on.
Very
the page.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I thank you.
And if anybody, I know a lot of people have my number and stuff, but if you want to go ahead and text in your contacts that you would like for us to do the posting for you, feel free to send it to 980-533-0988. Again, that's 980-533-0988. And we'll go ahead and we'll post it up there for you if you like.
Awesome. Any other needs and wants? No? Okay, cool. If you think of something later, just you can talk about it later. So let's go into property pitches and reverse property pitches. So what do you have to pitch? And also, what are you looking for?
I will go ahead and I'm going to pitch a 2-house package. So we've got 2 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses that are on the same parcel. They're both rented out at $950 per month currently. And the investor is currently asking $196 for that particular 2-house package. And that is located in Gastonia. So if anyone's looking for a turnkey package, it was newly renovated and inspected pretty much by code enforcement, building department, that kind of stuff. I do have inspection reports available, so you can, take a look at that if someone's looking for a turnkey 2-house package, 30 cash flowing.
Awesome. Thanks, Bonnie. Anybody else have any property pitches, or are you looking for any properties?
This is Mark. And I guess I could direct this to Doug because he inquired about it. But I have a house in the Autumnwood subdivision, which is in the 28213 zip code. We're asking $230,000 for the home. It is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath property, about 3,500 square feet. It is sitting on, I think, about a 0.42 acres. There is a pool in the back. And it's in a nicely quiet neighborhood. The homeowner will be relocating. The property is still occupied, but if you would like to see it, I do have pictures. I didn't get a chance to go back and get any more videos, but we do have chance to go out to the property and view it face to face. So if you want to do that, that'll be great. If you want to talk to me about it, my number is 704-261-4869. Again, that number is 704-261-4869. 4869. And my name is Mark Harris.
Thanks, Mark. Anybody else have any other property pitches or what they're looking for?
Hey, yes, this is Dominic. I'm in the market for a multifamily unit in Gastonia, Charlotte, or Salisbury, or any in the surrounding areas. The $500,000 price point is what I'm looking up to. So if anybody come along anything off market, I'm ready to make a move on something that the numbers work.
Okay. Y'all hear that?
What was the price point?
$500,000. We do have a quadruplex that's located in Statesville, so I don't know if anybody is interested in that, but we're in the process of getting it made ready, and it's a few weeks out, but obviously we're more than happy to sell things too while they're in the process of being renovated. So if anyone's interested in that quadruplex, feel free to contact and text me at 980-533-0988. Again, that's 980-533-0988.
Thanks, Bonnie. Okay, anybody else? Awesome. So let's get into our meeting.
I did have one thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lots. Anybody's got any building lots? I've got someone looking for building lots somewhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. I know that may not be fine depending on where we got to go, but they're.
So are you looking to build a house on it?
Yes.
Do you want it in Gastonia?
I don't know. Maybe.
I have one at 815 Davidson. So 815 West Davidson in Gastonia. We have a lot sitting there. We have the houses that are, in a row there, but that lot is available.
What size lot is it?
No clue.
All right.
It's a
do your own diligence and find out, right?
We just cut the grass. Yeah.
How much?
I don't know. What do you feel like paying?
I don't know. I don't know what it's worth.
Exactly. I have to figure that out. But yeah, we're open. We do some hobby millionaire deals for people.
All right, let me know.
Okay.
Keep it in the family. Okay, so
Actually, I'm sorry, I have one more. I actually am going to be selling mine too. I was like thinking, oh my, I don't even know what our price point is yet on trying to sell this house. But I have a house in West Gastonia. It is 606 East 3rd Avenue. It is newly being renovated, a brand new kitchen, new added bathroom. It is originally 2 bedrooms, although it may be into 3. And they are currently going to be changing the roof as well. It has about 1/3 of an acre in the back. And so it's a nice sized property. I am trying to find out from my cohort here to get an idea of how much we're going to be listing that for. But I'm guessing around 140. If anybody's interested, let me know.
I think we're neighbors. I think we might have houses on that street.
What was that? Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think
probably
neighbors. Yeah, I think we have houses on that street.
Yeah.
If somebody's interested, number one, I would suggest that you post that on our Hobby Millionaire page. And if anybody's interested in it now, what's a good phone number for them to reach you at?
You can call me or text me at 925-200-9483.
Cool. What's that number again, just in case somebody missed it?
It's 925-200-9483. And then, I'll put the particulars on the site.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
Okay, you
All
bet.
right, cool. All right, guys. So now's the time. Tamara, Blake, newbies, Mark, Dominic, Phil, oldies, Patrice, Jasmina, what are you here for? What questions do you have for the masters? Why'd you come here tonight? Anybody want to start it off? Wendell.
It's the financing for me. It's, I would like to do more deals with no financing. And I have some of my own cash to bring to it, but I don't want to put all of my cash into it. So how do I go about doing that?
Me too. That's my same question.
Yeah, I kind of posted it in the comments on tonight's posting that I had on my page to remind myself of what you guys wanted to talk about. But I know that Patrice also wanted to talk about the financing aspect of how you guys can do it without necessarily putting it in your name, or, you know, if you have other methods of getting the funds and that kind of thing. So there's a number of different ways. So who has one suggestion?
Sorry. Oh.
Owner finance.
Exactly. You want to go ahead and explain to them what that is?
So in owner finance, you are talking with the owner about the way I normally approach it is I use two words. What if? What if I paid you, what if I paid you a couple of thousand down and I paid you X number of dollars a month until the property's sold? And you set that up so that you can cash flow it, making a minimum of $200 a month after, you know, $100 maintenance reserve. Now, not everyone's going to say yes, but a lot of this is going to be based on the relationship and the rapport that you develop with these sellers. So they essentially become the bank. And you never go to a seller and say, hey, you're going to be the bank, because that scares the hell out of people. You tell them, you know, you make it simple and don't worry about the details. We'll let an attorney work all that out.
So, Curtis, would you do me a favor? I would love to have a script. It's one of these things that I'm not necessarily good on the fly. Like if I talk to somebody, I'd be like, and so what do I say? It would be great if it's just like in a piece of paper, and I would have to practice it in the mirror, of course. But
so a lot of it's actually not verbal. A lot of it, when you are meeting them, it's all verbal. You're building rapport. You're talking about the kids. You're talking about the future. You're talking about what they're thinking about doing once they have this thing handled. A lot of the actual offer aspect of it is done in writing. And we have a thing called letter of intent. So in chapter 2 of the book, which is the Real Estate Hobby Millionaire, you've got letters of intent. I put a lot of different options in there, but if you have a simpleton kind of seller, then you're only going to want to give 2 options, you know, like cash option. And then, you know, what if I gave you $10,000 and, you know, $700 a month or something, you know, just so that it's, remember, confused mind says no. So you kind of want to gauge it based on the type of seller you're dealing with. If you're dealing with, you know, an advanced real estate investor, go ahead and throw in as many as you want, because they'll look through all of them, see if one of them works. If not, they might change it around a little bit. But if you try and do that with an average day homeowner, sometimes they look at it and they just get a little crazy and they're just like, I can't do anything. So you want to give them, you know, multiple ways to say yes to you without getting them too confused as well. Has anyone been doing offers verbally, or do you just kind of use the verbal for rapport and then submit all offers in writing? Anybody? Okay. And I
do a lot of verbal things just to start with, just to see if we're even close, you know, so we don't take a lot of time. Maybe we should do more putting it in writing, but.
Well, in writing is also like a text message for me. You know, it's not necessarily something elaborate, you know. It's just like whenever I'm talking to someone, I just kind of want it to be, you know, the building rapport, getting to know that person. You know, they kind of know who I am, because, you know, if I make an offer and someone gets totally upset with me because of it, you know, I just kind of want them to be able to, I guess, have less emotion about it and have some time to breathe when they, you know, see a low ball offer, that kind of thing. But everyone can do whatever you want, right? It's whatever, you know, gets the conversion of the contract and everything. Let's see. What's the other item that we're utilizing, guys? And I have all the answers, obviously, of different ways for you guys to do this, but I just want to go ahead and throw it out here to the group. What's another way that you can purchase a property without using financing that is done through a bank?
I have a question. Sorry, Bonnie. what you were talking about there with the owner financing, is that like acquiring them as a wholesaler? Is that the strategy you're talking about, like putting in the verbal offer, or how? Just want a clarification on that.
As in, like when we're making an offer to a seller?
Yeah, are you going in and acting like as the wholesaler to get that property? Is that how you mean?
No, I could be buying that property, you know, and I just pretty much give them a text that has, you know, 2 different ways. Hey, are you okay with me giving you $10,000 and, you know, $700 a month until it's paid in full, you know, or ballooning out in 60 months? Or would you like me to just give you cash and just pay you outright, you know, $65,000 right now?
Okay.
You know,
and then how are you finding those, if you don't mind me asking? Again, I don't
everyone
mean
always
to
asks that. That's a great question. Yeah, everyone always asks that, but you don't find it. You make that offer. Like a lot of times whenever I was doing this in college too, I never looked at the prices. I always looked, okay, I've got a rental property, you know, that's in this neighborhood. Like I would start with my first one. And then I know that my property's rented for, let's say, $1,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and literally make offers to the entire neighborhood where I can literally get a hold of that property for $700 a month until it's paid in full, and just work on, you know, how much money do I need to give them? 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is. Because as long as I blanket the entire neighborhood, you know that I can rent it out for 1,000, you know, get a payment that's, you know, at least, you know, 700, maybe lower, you know, after I do inspection and everything. But literally just blanket the entire neighborhood, because all I need is one. You know, if you do one a month, that's like 12 houses a year.
So yeah, Bonnie brings up a good point. This misconception, I have people tell me all the time, don't send me anything off of MLS. There's no deals on MLS. Not true. It's the offers you make.
We've done like all of our deals practically off of MLS for the most part,
yeah.
You know, and then we buy other deals.
I'm working a multifamily deal for a client now, and they wanted an obscene amount of cash for it. And we inspected it, and it didn't look very good. So the alternative we came up with is, hey, you're going to have to owner finance it for a while. And, you know, faced with losing the sale, well, geez, that looks pretty attractive to them. So, and, you know, they were looking for, I think, 900. We settled on 735. The 900 price was obscene. 700 is high even, but, you know, you don't take the offer price and say, oh, well, that's what I got to give.
Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Doug, were we able to answer that question? You're on mute, so you might have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I got my kids running in and out, so I have to kind of go off as quickly as I can. Plus, I don't think anybody needs to see my mug. Yeah, I sort of understand it. It's just an aspect I'm trying to look at a little bit more, trying to understand a little bit more, trying to figure out, again, I guess, when it's appropriate. And I know you said it kind of sort of just happens, but every
time, every offer, unless you have cash that you need to park so it's not sitting in your bank account doing nothing, we always throw it in as an option, you know, because if you're going to be paying a partner, if you're going to be paying a hard money lender, or you're going to pay a bank, why not give that money just to the owner? You know, give them the option if maybe they don't want to, you know, receive a big lump sum of money and pay taxes on it. I had a portfolio where we're paying pretty much the owner $5,000 a month principal payments, and it was on a package of houses, and he did not want all the money at once because he did not want to pay taxes on it. So he was able to receive principal payments for, you know, many years, right? All the way up to, you know, basis, which is what he purchased them for. And that bought him some time, obviously, to be able to receive that. And there's no interest he's receiving on it because we made principal payments. And then when we get, you know, toward the end, that's whenever the profit starts to get paid out, right? So just know there's a lot of people that don't necessarily want, to pay taxes on that money.
Do more car strings anyway.
Yeah. So two key points from this is when you look at the situation of, what Bonnie said, the guy just wants $5,000 a month. This guy had a motivation that was different from maybe other sellers. This guy was, I think, in his 80s, but he was wise enough to know how much taxes were going to hit him. And so he was more than willing to look at this. So it's important as you're developing rapport to find out, hey, what is your situation? A lot of times simply from talking to folks, you can find out, I know Wendell had a situation that he related about a month ago where he asked a seller, hey, what are you going to do with the money? And he goes, well, I'm going to put it in a bank, in a CD making 1.5%. And so Wendell structured a deal to pay the guy over 3% interest. Big deal. And the guy had cash flow coming in, just like he did with his, like he would with any rental, but it doubled the interest that he was going to get off of his CD at the bank.
Exactly. All right.
So I do have a question. So with the owner financing, you're still getting the deed in your name, right? Okay. So you hold the deed, they are leaving, and then they finance this. Okay. So let's say they have a loan on it.
Yeah.
And so how do you go about that? Like, do you find out how much is left on the loan and then?
Well, you're going to let the attorney handle a lot of that, and you can do a wraparound mortgage with them. So you let the attorneys structure the deals, they do the wraparound. So let's say that they, owe $50,000 to the bank and they want to sell it to you for $70,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to draft up a note and stuff and do a wraparound mortgage where, obviously you're making payments. I always tell people, when you're talking with them, maybe structure it to where you're making payments directly to the bank, and then the additional portion would then go to the seller. You can have a third-party servicer also kind of take in all the money and divvy it up to, just because you don't want to have them take all that money, and then you're kind of, in essence, stuck with foreclosure because they didn't pay the mortgage, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So everyone's got a different way of doing it, but there's multiple ways to do things. There's trust. There's, other, options. And there's other ways to kind of do it, which can still give you full control of the property as well. All right.
Oh, and just to let you know, the property that I'm selling is 150, or at least that's what we're listing it for.
Okay, good. Cool. Okay. And what is it for?
Bonnie?
Yeah.
I have another follow-up question to what was said. You guys talked about finding a lot of deals on MLS.
Yep.
Like, do you suggest to the other realtors, hey, we'd love to do something here, if owner financing is a possibility, or how does that work?
You submit it totally in writing, and there's an addendum, and there's a form for everything. So any type of offer you wanted to make, there's a form for it. So the state has all of that jazz for you. I mean, it's got, I think South Carolina even has its own option contracts and all kinds of jazz. So just make sure that you know the rules of the game, play by the rules, right? And it's like, here's one offer to purchase, if it works for them. Here's another one with an addendum that works for them better, because we do have to educate agents on how to communicate to the seller. So that's why I like to just do it in writing, because all they know how to do is take it from their email and send it to their seller and let the seller read for the most part. So, you just want to kind of preface things of like, hey, there's more than one offer here. Just make sure that they take a look at both of them to see what's going to work out the best. And we have an attorney that we use that does all types of different types of closings, and they will do the paperwork and explain it to the client. And I know that you're just, the agents are just concerned with making sure they get to the closing table, right? So you need to address that and just say, we all get paid our commissions at the closing table, just like any normal transaction. So don't, worry that it's going to be something different.
Okay, that's interesting. I appreciate that because, again, I've never necessarily thought of that with properties I see on MLS. And so that gives me another just different strategy and approach.
Yeah. I've even sent over to Hobby Millionaires I can click a button and pull up every single owner finance lease option deal in all of MLS. And I just send that out to people and I'm like, have at it. You know what I mean? Take a look at it and see if there's any offers that you want to put in for it. And, there's a way to sort for all of that. So you have people that literally list saying, I will do owner financing.
Okay. That's good to know because I know there's a lot of aspects of MLS, but I also know that I just kind of locked into some of the typical things that I do, but I appreciate you saying that because then that'll force me to kind of look for that, try to filter out for that and be more creative.
Yeah. I mean, my whole thing is, guys, you know what your numbers are, right? So you can just make offers to everyone who's got a house with however many bedrooms or square footage you want for whatever, works for you. And I also tell them too, I'm like, look, please don't be offended by the offer or anything. Just know that if you don't find that perfect, unicorn buyer, that I'm here, in the back wings, have me on the back burner, come talk to me if you're still making a mortgage payment after 6 months. And a lot of deals actually start getting signed or they reach back out after month 3. So after 90 days of making, 3 mortgage payments, then all of a sudden they come to their senses and, maybe they're upside down in their mortgage. And I'm like, look, I'll pay you full price, right? I always tell people, I'll pay you full list price, but you need to give the terms that I'm looking for. So I may go ahead and I'll pay, $300,000 for your house, but I need to have that monthly payment be $700 a month until it's paid in full, right? So, I mean, it just depends on what structured, terms, I guess, that you want. And don't be afraid to ask people and just tell them, go, look, if you don't find that perfect buyer, just, have this offer here, kind of in the back of your mind, where it might work for you at some point. All right. So what is another way to purchase stuff, guys, without using the banks?
Was it subject to?
Yep, that's kind of like what she was talking about, subject to, which is wraparound mortgages, or if you're just taking it subject to the mortgage, which is, nothing to wrap, you're just taking it subject to that balance on that mortgage. Yep. What's another way?
Are they hard to qualify for?
What?
Wraparound?
There's no qualification.
Oh. Okay, so how do you go about doing that?
You just make the offer and see if the seller is okay with it. So for instance, your $150,000 house that you have, that's a renovation project?
Yes.
How much money do you guys have in it and what's your profit margin on it?
About, I think 95,000.
Okay.
So 45 maybe.
Okay. So you mean 55, right? So
55, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. And so let's say that you have it on the market and everything and you want that 150, but you're getting all these offers at like 120 or whatever, right? So, I mean, someone could easily come to you and say, hey, I'll give you 150,000, no problem. And being that's 150,000, I'm thinking I should probably rent it for 1,300 to 1,500 if it's new and beautiful, right?
Right.
But I know that you have 95,000 in it, so 10% of that roughly is $950 per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you're paying 10%, or if it's your money, which you said you have into it, maybe you want to make, 10% on your money, right? So I could easily say to you, I'll give you 150,000 for that property. I'm going to give you $10,000 right now, and I need my monthly payment to be $950 a month. Because I'm going to go and rent it out for $1,500.
Got it. Okay. Now I got it. Yeah.
See? There you go. I'm wrapping it around. So I'm, in essence, buying it from you for $150, you know, wrapping it around your $95,000, but I gave you $10,000 and $950 a month, and you're happy.
That's very true. Yeah.
And then the cool part about it is that you could sell that note
to the bank, right?
Well, not to the bank, but you could sell it to other, you know, other
investors.
There's also note buyers, like other private investors too, that, you know, if it's 10%, you know, they would take that all day long. You know what I mean? And then just make sure it balloons out, like say 60 months, which is 5 years down the road or something. So at that point, you know, someone could come and give you back your, you know, money for that particular note, right? And
Right.
they would step in and receive $950 a month on that particular note.
Got it. I think I'm getting it.
Yeah. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? And there's more than one way
Right.
to sell a property. So you could, you know, easily sell it with owner financing and then sell the note off, right? If you're trying to get that, you know, exact amount. And another thing is also, I want to add, you're going to want to add money to what you're selling the house for. So like 150,000, because we have lenders that do 100% financing for owner occupants. So then they can come in with like practically no money down other than closing costs, right? And purchase that house that you just renovated, and make it very easy for them to obviously slide right into purchasing that house from you for 150 grand.
Perfect. Okay.
And it's a lot of times, a lot of people that are selling stuff, they don't pair the money with it. I'm like, always pair, even when you're a wholesaler, guys, pair the money with it, because it's one more easy way for an investor or a buyer to say yes to you.
Got it. Okay, that's got me thinking.
So I have a question. So if you're structuring these deals, let's say the annual cash flow on a property is like $30,000.
How much is that a month?
$2,600.
Okay.
Yes,
And
1, 2.
yeah, so yes, 31,000 a year, 2,600 a month. So when you're structuring these deals, are you looking at a formula to say, okay, because I'm getting $2,600 a month, I'll, you know, go into this deal, I'll give them X amount of dollars up front? I mean, is there a percentage? Because I know with the benchmarks,
Yeah, so what is
you have numbers.
Yeah, so what is your, like what kind of property is it? A house? What is it?
It's a house that, but it's right now rented out as a quad. It's an older home.
So it's a 4-unit.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so $800, take that off the top, right? So 26 minus the profit. And then you're gonna wanna take $400 off for maintenance. So now you're at $1,200, right?
Yeah. 2,600 minus 800 minus 400. It's 1,400.
Yeah, so because you said 26 minus 1,200 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1,400.
Okay. So then why couldn't you offer to that person on the quad, hey, I'll give you $20,000. I'll pay you $1,400 a month. Make sure that includes your taxes and your insurance, obviously, and see what they say. And I'll buy it at full price. And
over like a 3-year, 5-year, what
60 months sounds good.
60 months, okay.
Yeah, always start there. 60 months sounds not too, you know, don't say 5 years. That sounds like long. 60 months, that sounds reasonable, right? Like I have no idea what's going on with this deal or how much it is and stuff, but I'm just giving you a scenario of what you could offer, right? So if somebody's doing that, and then when you go in there to actually, you know, do inspections and stuff like that, you could get the purchase price to come down a little bit, or you could adjust some of the numbers. But just off the bat, you could be like, hey, I'll offer you full price, but I'm going to give you $20,000 right now. It's good faith, so you know that, you know, I've got skin in the game. I'm going to buy this from you in 60 months. I'm going to do some improvements and jazz it up a little bit, maybe increase some of the rents. But I'm going to pay you $1,400 a month, you know, for 60 months. And not only are you selling this property for what you're listing it for, you know, the monthly payments that I'm getting you is actually going to make it so you're selling this property for more than what you're asking.
I'm going to share a deal I did.
Go ahead.
So I had a farm, y'all talked about it some on here, that was, we had a good bit of acreage, and it was a little tough for people to get the financing on it. So I had a family came in, and they were kind of interested in it, and they came out another time. And really what got their attention when I said something about, well, we could probably do some owner financing. So we had a first mortgage on it for $350,000. We had it on the market for $7 or something like that. So they came back, offered us $675. And then I had also a second mortgage that I had a private lender. We had sold a home and needed somewhere to secure that money. So we put that on there. So I got most of my equity back out. We owner financed them at 6% interest for 30 years. And now, since they've done that for a few months, they're working on getting it refinanced at 3% interest. But I don't care whether they get it refinanced or not, because I'm going to make a lot more. I'm going to make more money on the house if we hold that mortgage for 30 years than I am on the house itself.
Yep.
So that's
actually
the kind of deals you got.
Did you put the deed in their name, or did you do it on an option?
No. Nope. Contract for deed.
Okay. So you could definitely hook them up, obviously, with some, financial lenders if you wanted to, just because the rates are really good. And they are,
Oh, yeah.
like 100% financing is pretty much out there for people if they want it.
Well, they put $50,000 down, so it wasn't like they didn't have any skin in the game. Plus, they put up another home because I wanted them to get up to 20% equity. They have rental homes, so they put up their home, another home they own free and clear, which we put $125,000 deed of trust against that home. So. And we have to think like the banks when we're doing this stuff. I mean, you've got to think, because I've had situations before where I did that, and it took me a few years, but I had one where I, wound up and came out, smelling pretty good. And it took some years to get there, but we came out just like a bank does, unfortunately.
Nice. That's very good.
You just gotta do it.
Absolutely.
So Bonnie, how do you jump to like the really expensive multifamily, the ones for a couple of million? How do you bridge the gap between, putting the big down payment or, getting the large funding for those bigger units?
What is your role in it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're trying to purchase, something large like that, or get up to that point.
Okay.
How do you make the jump? I mean, or other than just saving for years and years and years, or selling some of your portfolio, but what are some ways you worked around getting to those?
So what I did was I started off with houses, right? So I started out houses, onesie, twosie, straight up monopoly, right? So three, 4 houses, whatever. And then when the apartment complexes came, because I had already shown a track record, right, of having houses successfully cash flowing and everything, so I had credibility. And then on top of that, I was working at an apartment complex, right? So I was in college doing leasing, which right now I offer investor support pretty much for hobby millionaires and everything, so they can get that credibility down as well. And learn the skills that they need to be able to be an asset, for another investor. Because whenever you then switch over to multifamily, then you can do the sweat equity part of it, because you know how to manage stuff, you know how to fill units, you know how to manage over contractors, and you know pretty much how to put the fairy dust on top of, a deal and make it, spit out money, right? Because that's the whole thing with, doing the bigger deals. So as long as you have cut your teeth on the smaller ones and you're successful with it, or you cut your teeth on someone else's portfolio and you're successful in doing it for that other person, then you can venture off, with another investor or do your own deals with more confidence that you're not going to totally, destroy your credit or, get yourself into trouble, right? So I pretty much cut my teeth on that. I also went ahead and got a W-2 job at an apartment complex. So I got paid to be trained, and I pretended that apartment complex was mine. I mean, straight up, like in my mind, I was showing up to run my apartment complex. You know, I don't know, like it was just, you know, that was my mental, and I was there for 7 years, got trained on, you know, a 30-year-old asset. That was 360 units, coming out of the gates at like, you know, 18 and 19 years old, guys. Okay, I kept them at 100% occupancy for 7 years. When that happens, next thing you know, when you go to the bank, right? The cool thing is I'm the little like 20-year-old person with all the credibility for these guys, rich guys, you know what I mean? So when you start having your partners that are going to put up all the cash, they can't do an apartment complex deal without you because they have no experience, right? So I'm the one over here going, you know, I got 360 units. Here's my W-2. I've been here for 7 years, right? I can buy this 40-unit apartment complex. I can buy this 50-unit apartment complex. I can buy this 10-unit apartment complex. I'm doing 360 units. You know what I mean? So whenever you start doing your stuff on the side, you're going to know how to do that. You're going to have that credibility. And then you can easily just plug yourself into, you know, like our group, Hobby Millionaire, right? I mean, everyone, you know, in the group, collectively, we have so many years of experience, so many, you know, properties to go play around on. And you can easily, you know, get your credibility by looking over, you know, and helping someone out, doing investor support, you know, being a study partner, whatever it is, so that you can have that. Because when you speak to someone or you speak to the bank or you speak to an investor, they're going to know that you know what you're talking about. You know, it's really hard to BS. You know what I mean? Like you kind of just know that that person really kind of knows what they're doing if they have been running operations, right? Now, if you're going to just be the money partner, then you have to then be able to manage over, obviously, your managing partners, right? Because you want to make sure that they're not going to, you know, get up and leave you kind of thing, right? And then another thing is once you have your small little portfolio, which in my book, I tell you guys, I want you to be at like a portfolio of 5, right? Because then no one ever tells you this. But when you have 5 properties on the side, making an extra $1,000 a month coming in on the side, that taps you guys into an extra $100,000 in lending power. Okay? What keeps you from going and buying a quadruplex by yourself and asking them to hold your 5 houses as collateral? Nothing. Remember, money is confidence, right? Like you have got to just make sure that the person who you're getting involved with or the person who's going to give you money feels confident in your abilities. And if you totally suck or something, that they've got something that they can recoup their money that they put into the deal with, right? Or be able to liquidate it because you guys bought it at such a great deal. So that's kind of how, you know, I did the jump, which was I started just onesie, twosie on the side, got that credibility going. And then I bought a 8-unit apartment complex by myself for $175,000, which by the way, Dina, that property over in Florida, bought it for $175,000 bucks.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Where do you? It's
Holy crap.
I know, it's walking distance to Starbucks and everything. Adina came
Meanwhile, didn't you just have like a crazy, insane offer on it?
Yes, I did. But just so you guys know, like I bought that 8-unit apartment complex for $175,000. And whenever the bank showed up, because I asked for bank lending on this thing, they're like, "Are you out of your mind?" And I did pretty much show them my track record, all that other stuff. And I had them use a couple of my other houses as the down payment so I could get no money down, right? So no money came out of my pocket. It's just, you know, from the other properties.
How much can you turn from each unit?
What is that?
How much can you rent each unit?
Which one?
The property you just bought. How much are their units renting for? Or can rent for?
Oh, well, that one I bought that one back in the day, but it broke about $6,000 a month now.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's actually more. I have to look at the final numbers, but Adina flew down to Florida to help me do turnovers, the student turnovers at the University of Florida. And so she was all around that property helping me out and, you know, together, and, you know, she was getting a glimmer of what a student turnover is since I had to go there and get it done.
Hey, if you ever need some help, let me know. Once after I have my baby, I'll be happy to go with you and help you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just posted also on Facebook, guys, that we are looking for a Hobby Millionaire travel team, especially whenever we take on this 100 to 400 unit apartment complex, because I'll need help. We got to count heads and beds. We have to make sure there's ceiling and roofs, you know, all that kind of jazz. Imagine going through 400 units, right? I don't want to do that by myself. We're going to have to conquer and divide, okay? We get everyone on a phone.
Travel team.
Yeah, and so we'll end up putting a link up so that anyone who's interested in investor support can kind of do the online app. So.
Okay, cool.
All right. So guys, it is 8:04. Did we have any final things that we want to talk about, or Dina, you want to do any final announcements?
If nobody else wants to talk about anything, I do have a couple final announcements. Guys, if you're not on it, join our Hobby Millionaire Charlotte Facebook page where you can post things, your deals, definitely sign things. Also, we want to keep in touch with you so we can let you know everything that's going on. So you text your name and your email to 980-533-0988. Again, text your name and your email to 980-533-0988. We are meeting again tomorrow on Zoom, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Another investor meeting. And that'll be the last time this week, so definitely go and bring your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there is one more, because I know someone had texted in to me asking about HVAC installs, guys. So also don't forget to post that, or, you know, text in your HVAC install, you know, person that you guys like, you know, keep money in the family, right? Do them a favor, give them some extra side work, that kind of thing. But I wanted to go over the numbers. So I do have a class that's called Rehab Riches, where we literally are in Home Depot going through, and I am pricing stuff out so you understand how much equipment is or supplies are versus labor. So when people are trying to get you to do that $7,000 HVAC system, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. It's a waste of money. So I did have this as a discussion on my Facebook page too. So feel free to go ahead and look at that. I screenshotted a couple of the equipment things so that you can kind of look at it. But equipment can be anywhere from, let's say, $1,800 to $2,200. You know, there is a backup and back orders going on right now because of shipments from China and all that kind of jazz and metal and blah, blah, blah. But also I found out, because I was perusing Amazon, and Amazon sells HVAC equipment. So just so you guys know, you can see what the pricing is there too. So it's all within the same, you know, price points, pretty much, you know, $1,800 to $2,200, how much the package units or the split systems are. Now, in regards to labor, how much is it to actually have that equipment swapped out and installed at your house? Okay. Labor. If you're going to switch it from gas to electric, it's about $350 to go ahead and do the disconnects or something to swap it from a gas to electric. So our licensed electricians have no problems between, you can get it between $250 to $350, but I'm just gonna say $350 out the door to have the, you know, electrical part swapped over, if you're gonna do that. But if you're just gonna swap out your equipment, you should be able to get it done between $500 to $1,350. Okay, so labor wise, $500 to $1,350. I've seen someone that does $1,400, you know, $100, but that's all within the same, you know, lines here. Just imagine if you're at a luxury A-class apartment complex and you see that dude running around on his golf cart, I guarantee he has an HVAC license. So that guy is getting paid like maybe $20 an hour, okay, at that apartment complex to be like the maintenance tech, whatever. Sometimes it's 18, 25 if you're lucky. So if you went to him and said, hey, can you swap out my condensing unit for $500 or swap out my air handler for $500, that guy would be there in a heartbeat on a weekend job, okay? So just know those guys are licensed too. They swap out AC units all day long at the apartment complexes. Do you think that they're paying $7,000 a unit? Heck no, not happening. But just so you guys know, save money with that little tidbit right there saved you thousands of dollars. And this is why you should come onto the subgroup meeting calls and Zoom, education sessions, just because it's going to save you a lot of money. So remember,
the Home Depot class? What's that class? Or what is that class?
It's called Rehab Riches.
Rehab Riches?
Rehab Riches, yep. And you can sign up for it and stuff on Meetup, I think. It's always the weekend after Investor World. And we pretty much go in there and wander around and I show you exactly what we buy so that you can see how to do a $2,500 bathroom, right? No $10,000 bathrooms, but a $2,500 bathroom, a $3,000 to $4,000 kitchen, all that kind of stuff. So, and it's all right there in Home Depot and we price it out. You take pictures of it all. And I pretty much tell you guys the difference between obviously the supply cost and what the labor cost. All right. Well, guys, with that
Bonnie,
said, yeah.
Bonnie, one more quick question from something you were saying a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I understood it correctly. Did you say that after you got your first 5 properties or something that you were able to then use that as collateral in place of a down payment?
Yes.
To get into the apartment complex?
Yeah, you'll start getting into wraparound mortgages and stuff. Yeah. And you can ask banks to take it as collateral, security interest. Yeah. So, I mean, you can literally, like those 5 houses, if they're cash flowing, should have at least $100,000 in lending power packaged in them. And you just talk with the bank and everything and say, hey, I would like to do a security note or pledge this as collateral. Or roll it into a blanket loan, whatever they want to do. Just the key is that you want to make sure that they feel confident with you. And just like our private lenders now, they see us doing this all the time. We're teaching you guys and stuff, where a lot of times, they're doing 100% financing with no securitized anything other than, the property we're about to renovate and everything. So you want to get yourself to the point there where you have that strong of a track record documented, your I love me wall, your pictures, your video, right? Because money is confidence. They want to make sure that if they put it with you, they're going to get their monthly payment, right? Absolutely. And they're going to be able to get the money out at the end because you know how to finish a job.
Okay, got it. Love these creative ideas. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on the call. We'll see you guys maybe tomorrow at 7 o'clock. But remember, we allocate time to be here with you guys 3 hours a week. We've been doing it for, I think Curtis said like 7 years or something crazy. So you know where to find us. We used to do it by having dinner with each other, but now with the whole COVID thing, we can't meet in person. So now we get to do it this way. But hope you guys are having a great week. Bring your questions, bring your concerns, utilize the space to get yourself from A to B. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight and bring your questions tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great meeting you. Great seeing you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.